Well, it didn't really, but obviously, the monetary value that's associated with the prize, it's a very important one. I think for Australian photographers, it does really give you a lot of help along the way, particularly documentary photography. It's an expensive genre to work in, and that sort of prize money can go a long way in helping photographers carry on with their documentary practice. In the work that we do, well, certainly the work that I do, like we work in a lot of debt, so it went a long way in cancelling a lot of debt. I have to say, it put me on an even playing field again, and allowed me to pursue areas of photography that I'm interested in. Awards. I mean, this is an important one. I'd have to say, in Australian for Australian documentary photography and other genres as well. But in terms of, does it really help you gain further assignments? No, it doesn't. Like no award does. To be truthful, like I mean, I could throw a sheet of like awards at you and say I won this, but like most documentary photographers in Australia and overseas, we still struggle to finance projects. Currently, I've been working on a homeless story on the banks of the Hawkesbury River in Windsor and Western Sydney. I've spent the last 4 months spending time with a group that have built enclaves into the bushland surrounding the banks of the Hawkesbury River. It's mostly people consider homelessness an issue that's concerned with the inner urban centres in any city, but I think most Australians or most Sydney people don't realise that there's a massive burgeoning homeless situation on that rings the city, and that's on the Hawkesbury and the Pean, which are two major rivers in Sydney that essentially circle Sydney, and there's a huge homeless population. I only figured that out recently, so several months ago I begun documenting a group of people out there. The other thing I've been working on is an issue on food security in Sydney. Well, with the homeless situation, that's more difficult. It takes spending a lot of time with homeless people. You have to earn their trust. You can't just simply walk in and do an assignment on homeless. If you're you just can't walk into that situation. You have to spend time. You have to be wanting to invest time in these people. For them first to earn your trust. And that takes a long time, particularly if you're dealing with mental illness. That's the crux of my story. I want to tell the story of mental illness and homelessness. You have drug and alcohol addictions. You have all sorts of problems with people, and they're very vulnerable sometimes, and you have to tread carefully and invest a lot of time. Absolutely. I mean, documentary photography is extremely important. We inform a society, we stimulate a society creatively and otherwise. Without documentary photography, people wouldn't learn about such stories. It takes dedicated documentary practitioners to go out to seek out these stories and communicate them in a serious way and deliver them to the public. So it's extremely important. Yes, invest time. I would say that's the most important thing with documentary work. You can't do it quickly. Or certainly, you can grab singular frames. Yes, you can do that well, but if you're wanting to tell serious, social or environmental stories, you have to invest a lot of time.